Hebrews 11 chapter 14, 15, 16.
People who say such things show that they are looking for a country of their own. If they had been thinking of the country they had left, they would have had opportunity to return. Instead, they were longing for a better country, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for He has prepared a city for them.
We use the expression, burning the bridges. But remember, we all have capacity to build our bridges also. Here, 15th verse, indeed, if they had been thinking of that country from which they went out, they would have had opportunity to return. All of us have opportunity to return to any way. Pilgrim's Progress, first part, when it is over, the last sentence, from the gate of heaven I saw a way leading to hell. From the gate of heaven I saw a way leading to hell. From there also you can deviate if you want. He who stands firm till the end will be saved. When the devil is running around looking for whom he can devour, it's not in the beginning of your life alone, even at the end of your journey. The freedom of will is retained in a born-again Christian also. But he joyfully, willingly surrenders it to the master. When the animal is kept on the altar as sacrifice, part of the legs are jutting out of the altar. They will use a prong to take it and put it inside. None of the parts should be outside the altar. It's in our life also. When you surrender, it is not one part of your life. And also, whoever takes the sacrifice thing from the altar is a cursed person. Anyone who takes the sacrifice from the altar, or whatever is offered, if you take it back, he is a cursed person. You give up certain thing to follow the Lord, and after some time, you take it back and go back. You gave up your TV, small screen, bought a larger screen. Remember, coming to Jesus Christ means your free will is not destroyed. You are not annihilated. It's no more I, but Christ who lives. The life I now live in the flesh is in the faith of the Son of God. കണ്ടോ, ഞാനല്ല ജീവിക്കുന്നത്, ഇപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ജഡത്തിൽ ജീവിക്കുന്നതോ. ആ ഞാൻ ജീവിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ ഇപ്പം? ഞാൻ മരിച്ചോ? പിന്നെ ഞാൻ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ജീവിക്കുന്നത്? English? So you are not annihilated. You are still there. But it is no more. I means it's not my rebellious nature that is controlling me now. It's not the rebellious nature. ഞാൻ ഇല്ലാതായി തീർന്നിട്ടില്ല. So you can still make decision, but I live the new life in faith, by faith. Can a married man go away from the wife? Can he? He can. He doesn't, because the relationship is by faith. By faith. You should not forget, I am still there. I am fully active. The one who is created by God is still there. The corrupt nature has been removed and the new nature is coming. I will be transformed into His old likeness. People used to ask, when in heaven, can you identify one another? Hi, Isaac. Will you be Isaac or somebody else? But can I identify you? Abraham, Lazarus were identified. Yes, Moses, Elijah all came. New? New name means one who has overcame. A name nobody knows. Written. Lot of projections in the mind are there. The simple thing is, you will have a new body, new nature, but they will identify. Will they be husband and wife there? No. See, you, as the body of Jesus Christ, you can walk through the wall also. John, one of the author, is writing a book on this. Suddenly the other person comes near you from nowhere. You talk, suddenly he disappears. All those who are born of women have to die. They say the two witnesses on the last day, they are the two who did not die earlier, will die there. Lot of discussion, we don't know, we don't enter into that, we don't know. But people are very much keen on this kind of discussion. Now, the thing is, we have free will still here, and you have to be guided by the Holy Spirit continuously to walk in that direction. But as it is, they desire a better country, that's a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for He has prepared a city for them. So even though there is an opportunity to go back, they don't go back because they see something very clearly. It's about Moses also. Considering the reproach of Christ greater riches than the riches of Egypt, treasures of Egypt, for he was looking to the reward. So leaving things and moving forward, the Christian life is going to be by faith also. Faith. Appropriating the truth by faith. Not by reasoning. You don't know the details, still you are able to believe. Somebody is asking, you cannot explain, but for you it is very clear. Very clear. So easier conversations decision making, all based on that clarity now. Or what you say, clarity, എനിക്ക് വളരെ തെളിവാന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പ്രാർത്ഥനായോഗത്തിലേ ഉള്ളൂ. When I go out, the workplace, business place, or you find it so conflicting there, so you say it is destroying my faith, so I leave the place and go. Some of the places in which you are already may not be helpful in any way for your growth in Christ. If it becomes clear, leave the place. One group of doctors in Vellore, while having a Bible study, after that they were discussing about all the horrible things that are happening in Australian culture. How young boys and girls live out, and how they ridicule children who stand apart and not mix with them. I was listening to them. They said it's a horrible place. But many of them were planning to migrate there. I was reading to them. Lot moved his tent toward Sodom. Lot moved his tent toward Sodom. Later he became a judge there, a prominent person there, sitting at the gate. It is his deliberate choice. You take to the left, I will take to the right. He chose the fertile land. Abraham waited for God to be guided. Lift up your eyes and look. All this place you see, your foot is placed, I will give it to you. For Abraham God gave, for Lot he chose. He would have thought I am very smart. From the same place where Abraham stood and saw the promised land, he stood with God and saw the smoke of Sodom. Same place. Are we moving our tents towards Sodom? Decision making. Then we read, righteous man Sodom was vexed in his spirit about what he saw. Two doctors who were regularly attending Christian Medical Fellowship, when they passed out, they joined a private hospital. After near they were attending again, they were saying, Uncle, they are doing horrible things there. They are doing abortions, unnecessary investigations and treatment. It hurts us so badly. I didn't ask them immediately. Why didn't they leave the place? If it is so horrible, why didn't they leave the place? Because the salary is very fat. You can say it's horrible, it's like that, it's this, this. Why are we continuing there then? There is no justice in my place where I work. There is always climbing the ladder. There is always competition. So horrible. My faith is destroyed there. Then why are we sitting there? Where will I go? Many of you sitting here, your difficulty in decision making, is it related to the money that you get? That means, is money deciding factor? If you move out to your right place, your salary may be different. Sometimes it will be very little, but you can be free. ഒരലിനകത്ത് വീണ ഇടികൊള്ളാതിരിക്കത്തില്ല. എന്തിനാ പോയി ഒരയിൽ ചാടിയത്? Many people make choices and enter into places, then, brother, there's nothing right there. It always disturbs my soul. അവിടുന്ന് പോവുകയല്ലേ ഇല്ല ഒരുപാട് ഡിസ്റ്റർബ്. Are you asking where shall we go? Then so many places. You know how to teach little bit? Come to Orissa in a school, we'll take you. Meanwhile, you go and do your B.Ed also. You can work there. You can minister to 350 children or 80 children. For 10 years, you can minister to. Almost 200 days in a year, you can minister to. There is another school nearby. They also need teachers. There are a lot of home nurses are needed to take care of the sick people in home, old people at home. You have to take care of yourself in the right place. You can minister to people. It's a great ministry. Soon, palliative care, people are needed there. Geriatric care, people are needed there. But if everybody wants to be in Apollo, what to do? Dr. Philip Alexander will be telling in Manali, if you know little plumbing and connect some wires, you come there, you can make a living and evangelize the place. So much opening, need for. Delhi, if you call somebody to fix a switch and go, it's only 200 rupees. One switch. Highest paid employee in Switzerland is barber. Because there are many heads and very few barbers. Kerala, I always imagine like this. Kuli worker will become highest paid laborer. Now it is 1,000 per day. Soon I feel it will become 2,000. So many will go for kuli work. They will come in a car. What are you doing? Kuli work. Kuli work. You need not work more than 4 hours there, Kerala. 4 hours. One of my friends in pastor, he has a house and a small land around. To cultivate the land and keep it, he was willing to give almost 500 rupees per day. If you stay will be provided. Nobody wants to come. Because if they go as a daily laborer, you can do whatever you want. If food and accommodation provided with 500 rupees, you won't get it somewhere else in Pachalur. See, in my younger days in school and college, I have done all these works. That's why I'm telling you it's a good work. Taking care of cows, everything. You have a choice. You can go back. If you are in the wrong place, if you have a wrong friendship, if you have wrong commitments, you have to come out of it. One man was a businessman was attending a seminar. He had his partner was a non-Christian business in Kerala. He decided to quit because no alliance with non-believers. When he went back and told his partner, he said, you had to pay me 40 lakhs compensation. He was disturbed. Later he said, you can pay it over 10 years. He managed to pay off. 2 years back, I met him in Hyderabad. He's a full-time worker, very happy. He says, I got out of it. God saved me from that. Otherwise, for his lifetime, he would have been trapped. If any one of you sitting here are in debt, you must come out of it by even selling everything you have. Even if you starve, you must come out of it. It's a type of trap from which you will never come out in this part of the land. You will pay only the interest and you will never come out. A group called Compass is teaching how to handle money for Christians. Sometimes you can invite the people and make others also learn. Little westernized, but it's still applicable to India. Bukur. Because they invite people who spend money, make money like that, and then teach them. The auditors were invited once, Christian auditors. The purpose was, if Christian auditors function properly, business people will become all right. Because if they don't do any malpractice in auditing, they cannot survive. They have to correct their life. But one in Bombay, so far they have not compromised anywhere. They are involved in consultancy for the central government also. That person usually comes for the meeting. They survive. That Manju is there? I don't know. Because the intention was that if they become right, business people will become right. Yes, when preachers are like that, they can also be like same. So, anyone wants to share about that changes that are happening in life? How will you continue that in the days to come? Anyone is recognizing the struggle that you will face when you go back?